Today I'm going to unbox a Piko 59560-6 model of the BR 118 Diesellok from the East German Deutsche Reichsbahn. It is a Piko Expert model. Comes with the labeling on the one end here, and let's open it up and see what it looks like inside. So we have the model inside a paper box with the plastic sleeve. The manual is located behind, and you push it out from the bottom, and you can take out the little packet containing the documentation. We'll get to that later. Let's take a look at the model itself. We'll open up the plastic protective packaging, and here's the model itself. Looks like it's beautifully detailed. Numbering is crisp and sharp. Door details, designations. All in all, it looks like it is a very beautiful model. This model does not have a decoder installed in it, so we're going to attempt to install that next. First, we're going to consult the manual and see what is contained herein. So we have the user manual here. Looks like in 4 languages. We have a little pamphlet with some advertising for the Agleis and available structures as well, and so forth. And then we have the parts breakdown with the spare parts listing. Even has instructions for how to install the decoder, so I think that'll be very helpful. And the parts list, which is very thorough. Looks like both bogies are driven. Very nice. So according to the manual, there are 2 screws that have to be removed from the bottom, and then you can lift the cap up. The screws are here and here. They're recessed quite far. I don't know if I can actually catch one. There you can kind of see it on the camera. Here's one, and then the other one is in that cavity there. Can't really capture it, but it's there. Let's take those off and take the cap off. We have one screw. And the other one. They won't come out even with a magnetized screwdriver, but let's see what happens now. There we go. I'm going to put that aside here, and we'll drop the screws, and we'll put them on the magnet up here. So So this is what the interior electronics look like. Got our dummy plug right there, and illumination on both ends. The cab there's instructions in the manual for how to take the driver cab off. It is lightly detailed inside, so if you wanted to put a driver in there, it would look pretty good. You can see there the throttle. So it does have some interior detailing there. This is a Lokpilot 54611 from ESU that I'm going to install in here. And let's open this one up and see what we have here. This is a relatively straightforward, simple decoder with the 8-pin plug. And it should provide illumination front and rear, forward and backwards motion, and it probably has some spare function available. Looks like the purple wires here. There may be a spare function available that we can do something with. Alright, let's start with the decoder installation. First of all, I'm going to remove the dummy plug here by lifting it out. In the manual it tells you to save it, so in case we ever need it in the future, we will do just that. And now, when we take a close-up look of that 8-pin socket, there is a number 1 right there. So usually the socket denotes which pin is number 1, and then the plug should have a like identification to state that it is number 1, either with a dot or a triangle. Now it's very possible that my eyes are just not visible, that I can't see it quite well enough, but I don't see a identifying mark on this one. Nevertheless, it should be the orange wire that is the lead wire for the positive for the motor. If you get it wrong, you don't damage anything, you simply won't have any functioning lights. So if you do this and you plug it in and it doesn't work, turn it around. So we're going to go with the orange wire being number 1, corresponding to number 1 on here, and we're going to plug the socket in. Just push it in a little bit. And that's all there is to it. So this lock has so much space inside, this decoder chip could really go anywhere, but it looks as though this outline here is almost perfect for this, like perhaps when it is delivered with the chip, that's where they put it. So we're gonna tuck it right in there. And we're just going to use some tape to hold it in place. Perhaps temporarily, maybe permanently, we'll see. And then we will secure this wiring here, where it's making the U-turn, also out of the way, because that right there, that hole is where that screw comes in. So we want to make sure that the wires don't get anywhere near that screw hole, or they could possibly ground out or get cut up. Just like that. That should hold it at least temporarily, so we can test it. Alright, so full of confidence, we're going to put the cap on, just loosely, no screws yet. And we're going to move it over to our test track and see if we can read the decoder and see if the functions work. So the BR118 is sitting on the test track. I have jumper leads leading over to my nailed down test track, and we're going to switch it over to the program mode and try and read the decoder information. So I use the Roco Z21 system. I know it is very user-friendly for me being renewed to my old hobby. So we're going to try and read this freshly installed decoder. For that we go to CV programming, and the local address is on the program track, so we're just going to try and read it. I can hear some faint sounds from the locomotive right now, and it has come back with the local address of being the number 3, which is correct because it should be the default value. So now I'm going to switch the program track back over to the main track and use my multi-mouse and see if we can operate this beautiful little Diesellok. So we're going to turn on the lights, and that's the tail light. Change driving direction. Oh, there you go. Switches to the 3 headlights, and if you can already hear the motor running. Very cool model indeed. The lights turn off and on and change direction as well. Now it's time for a little test run around my very much in progress layout here that I'm building. So we're going to start by disconnecting the test track jumper leads. And we're going to move the locomotive over to the track. So we'll start by putting the track in the correct configuration. That's right. That's right. So that should all be ready. So we'll turn the lights on and we'll go for a test spin. And it looks like it's running just fine, very quiet too. And overall, a very, very beautiful model here. And it was not expensive at all. So now we're going to put the screws back in. And we're done. So it looks like this lok is ready to join its brethren, so to speak, on the display case. Until next time. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video.